So yeah, you seem to have a vast listening experience when it comes to music. I've heard names like King Von here in the background going on, you know. But it's crazy. I want to, because of the fact that you've actually kind of told us how much music you've actually listened to, you know. I want to hear your take on the growth of this industry in South Africa, like the music industry, from obviously then till now. You know, how do you view that? How's the growth been, and so on? What needs to be changed and improved?
No, the growth has been phenomenal. And I think besides the growth, what South African music has done for not just the African, but for the global musical community is amazing. You look at the introduction of different genres over a period of time. Some may have cut it internationally, some may have not, but I mean, if you look at what the guys are doing today, it speaks volumes of where music has come from. I mean, you have people in the early 90s coming up with a new sound. It's kwaito, it's fun. There's some messaging, you know, thrown into the mix, and there's personalities behind it that are polarizing. Some of them are highly educational and just general talents. We've seen awards being won by the likes of, back then, the Ladysmith Black Mambazos. And then you fast forward now, you have guys doing amazingly on the global circuit, BETs, you know, that sort of thing, Grammy nominations, whatever. And the interesting thing is, what would have been folk/traditional music on the global scene then, you have a highly competitive and contested hip-hop sound today that's put South Africa on the main stage. And we've seen artists doing very well on the international scene. So the growth of the music and that experience from then till now has been, the trajectory has been, it's been amazing. For the sound, for the technology, for the look and feel, I think it's also come a very long way. Because you know, we've had some friends in the music business, so we still do. We've experienced studios and production and that sort of thing. And by the time the final production is done from the international side, guys will say, look, there's certain sounds missing. From an engineering perspective, the pitch may not be right, decibels, whatever it is. And you'll understand that there's some things that South Africans are good at doing, and there's some things that they may not be well versed in, because if you look at a lot of the musicians out there now, it hasn't been their core, you know, which is a great thing. Learning on the job, I firmly believe in that. So the actual production perspective has been something that people have mastered over a period of time, and guys are mastering that craft to a point where the sound is on par globally with what's happening. So it's important to mention this, because sitting in studio, you'll have guys saying, but hold on one second, that is off. You know, what we may think sounds amazing, some guy sitting in some studio in Sweden or in the UK or in the US will be like, but hold on one second, the basic fundamentals of music production you missed on
these certain areas.
So I think that gap has been closed over a period of time. And I think that speaks to, and it's testament to the quick learning of where our South African artists are at. And if you look at some of the guys going toe-to-toe with international artists, you know, I've always had the argument with guys, especially in the hip-hop scene, and why I've always stayed away from trying to oversell South African hip-hop, because my thing is simple. No one can do American better than Americans. Or whatever it is, whether it be the music or whatever. But it seems the guys are...
They're catching up.
They're catching up real quick. As a matter of fact, they've caught up.
Yeah.
So it's you look at what's happening now. You listen to the sounds of guys like Casper, obviously is up there, the AKAs, and then guys that are being slept on. Guys like Blackie in the system, and there's a whole bunch of other guys. Guys are on another level. Another level.
And they're doing amazing things, you know. But there's a sound for me that I really have a lot of respect for, and it's the Amapiano sound, you know. Amapiano, you know, it's gone global in a short space of time, you know. a lot of people are actually starting to open up to it, especially like abroad in terms of like guys getting deals with brands from overseas, you know, and it's an original South African sound, you know. I think Kwaito and Amapiano are actually the two sounds that originate from here. And Gqom, yes. Like the success of Amapiano, watching as a listener and listening and watching the videos and stuff like that. Like, well, what do you think that sound's going to bring for the movement of music in South Africa going forward?
It has already brought it, and why I say that is, you know, we travel, and when we're in different parts of the world, you'll be sitting at an airport lobby or lounge, or sitting at a club in the middle of wherever, UK, US, and somewhere in the Middle East, because there's a big music culture there. And if you look at what's being played, you know, the airtime being shared is either, what's the Latin sound, the Daddy Yankee type sound.
Daddy Yankee, yeah. I don't really know much about him.
What's it called? Reggaeton, the reggaeton type.
Okay.
Yeah. So that South American feel now, there's a whole bunch, there's Bad Bunny and all these guys. Then you have, so that's one of the sounds that's definitely occupying the airspace. And then you have the traditional hip hop space.
Yes.
The young guys, whether it's POOH, SHIESTY, whether it's, I was going to say Tekashi, but you know, if you want to say.
No snitches here. No snitches here.
But I mean, the guy that just passed away recently.
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey's one of them, but the
Juice WRLD?
No, Juice WRLD, yeah, 100%. But why am I forgetting his name, man?
Come, guys.
Yo, what's homies are you always listening to, and I keep forgetting his name? Okay, no, man. Pop Smoke, thank you.
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke, Pop Smoke.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of sound occupies the airwaves, and then you'll find there's I don't know what the term is now, but Afro beats. I think that's it. Afro beats is probably the most popular sound in the world right now. Whether you're in the clubs, whether you are sitting in a lounge, shisha lounge somewhere in the world, that's up there. And then it's Amapiano, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, we're sitting in place, and at times I'll be like, I'm sitting somewhere in the middle of downtown Boulevard in Dubai, and I think maybe am I Sakumzi's here or my Max's? But it's like, it just pops up, and it's like, okay.
And you're in another part of the world.
And it's you won't go out on any given night. You go out, guaranteed you'll hear Amapiano song. Guaranteed. Abroad.
And what's the one song that was probably most shocking to hear while you were abroad at any time?
From South Africa?
Yeah.
Let me answer it this way. I mean, there's the one that went globally viral. I mean, that is Master KG. I mean, that's one thing. That's something else. That's a phenomenal thing on its own. The other one that I've heard that I was surprised to hear would have been, and this was at the early point before it blew up, was the John Cena song.
Oh yes, Show My Josie.
Show My Josie.
Yes,
My apologies,
yes,
Show My Josie.
Yes.
That's the name I was looking for. But when it first popped up, and I remember, because obviously interesting lyrics. Besides the lyrics, the lyricism, and besides that, she's rapping in a language that most people, if any, are not rapping. You know? So it's not authentic and as much as it may be identifiable, but not understandable to most people. And then someone from Tanzania was like, hey, no, she's speaking my language. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I don't know how he understood it, but you know, there was some correlation between the two. I don't know how, but I mean, this is what the gentleman said. So that's the one that definitely
stood out, yeah.